From your breaking news leader, this is KKTV 11 News at noon.
We're learning more about the gunman who killed a deputy on New Year's Eve, why law enforcement was warned about his behavior recently. Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Tony Keith. We start this morning with an update. We're now learning authorities had been contacted with concerns about the mental health of Matthew Riehl over a month before he shot and killed a Colorado deputy and wounded 4 others. But he was never held for a mental evaluation. After Riehl published several social media posts critical of University of Wyoming professors in November, campus police went as far as calling the Lone Tree Police Department to warn them about Riehl, suggesting his rants were indicative of mental illness. Then the Douglas County Sheriff's Office says authorities received a call on Sunday from someone who said Riehl might be having a mental breakdown, but deputies found no evidence of a crime and left. They were called back out there later, and that's when the deadly shooting took place. 5 deputies and 2 civilians were hit by gunfire. One man who lives in a nearby home is now talking about what he experienced Sunday morning. 11 News reporter Gabrielle Cox has more.
We're hearing from a man who survived.
The funeral for the fallen deputy, Zach Parrish, will be later this week at the Cherry Hills Community Church. That's in Highlands Ranch. It's taking place Friday morning. Originally, it was closed to the public. We just learned overnight the family is now inviting everyone to come honor Parrish. If you'd like to donate to the deputy's family, we have a link to the GoFundMe page. Just go to kktv.com, click on the Find It tab. Time now for your first forecast with Chief Meteorologist Brian Bledsoe. Pretty calm day so far. Nothing like this past weekend when it was just nonstop wind. What do you have for us, Brian? Well, this is new at noon. A Colorado mother is accused of killing her own newborn baby. Douglas County deputies say a neighbor found a lifeless infant left in her backyard in Highlands Ranch. To make her find even more disturbing, the baby still had the umbilical cord attached. 23-year-old Camille Wassinger Conrad was arrested for the death. If you're listening at home, just know this. A state safe haven law was passed back in 2000. This law allows a parent to hand over an infant to a fire station or hospital, absolutely no questions asked, until the baby is 72 hours old. Well, happening right now, police are investigating 2 separate car crashes where pedestrians were seriously hurt on the same busy street. The first was at South Nevada and Las Vegas here in Colorado Springs. The second at Nevada and Cimarron. They happen within hours of each other. People who work and live in that area say they see people crossing the street all the time there.
If this is a busy intersection, I mean, they're going to be doing it all the time. So if they keep on doing it, there's going to be more.
Both of the victims were taken to the hospital. We don't know what condition they're in at this time, but of course, we will keep you updated. And new information, a Fort Carson soldier was killed while fighting in Afghanistan. 34-year-old Sergeant Mihail Golan was with the 2nd Battalion 10th Special Forces Group at Fort Carson. Officials say he died on New Year's Day, was hit by enemy fire while out on patrol. Golan was supporting Operation Freedom Sentinel. Well, several car windows smashed overnight. Take a look at this video of the damage. This is not something you want to wake up to. It happened near Cascade and Willamette Avenue. That's on the north end of downtown Colorado Springs. Our crew saw at least 4 other cars with their windows completely smashed out. A witness we spoke with says there were even more cars than that were hit. We're working to find out more information. And new details. The sign for the Sports Authority Field in Denver, it'll be coming down soon, but the home of the Broncos is not getting a new name. The team says it will keep the name for now because there are upcoming events connected with the name, but there will be a placeholder name or a name of a new corporate sponsor by next season. The stadium sign will be taken down in about a week. Sports Authority was the 2nd company to hold the current stadium's naming rights before it went bankrupt. That was back in 2016. Well, developing right now, President Donald Trump sent a message to North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un saying, "Don't threaten me with your nuclear button." Wei Zhejiang is at the White House with those details and the latest on talks between North and South Korea.
President Trump is responding to North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un's warning that he now has a nuclear button on his desk. The president tweeted, "I too have a nuclear button, but it is a much bigger and more powerful one than his, and my button works." Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen was asked about the tweet.
The U.S. ambassador to the United Nations says the U.S. could seek even more economic sanctions against North Korea if they go through with another missile test in violation of UN resolutions. Well, we're learning new information about a violent home invasion that ended with one person being shot. This happened Monday night in the Stratmore Hills area of Colorado Springs. The sheriff's office says 6 people forced their way into the home, demanded money, and went as far as shooting someone.
We did have someone, several suspects try to break into this residence. They did have handguns. They have left the residence. We don't have anyone in custody.
The victim has been released from the hospital. Right now, it's not clear if the home invasion was targeted or completely random. Anyone with information, as always, is asked to call the sheriff's office. Well, if you still have travel plans following the holidays, you'll want to hear this. Coming up next on 11 News this morning, we have details on a major winter storm. Look at that. This is along the East Coast. We'll show you Florida looking more like Colorado with snow falling. But first, Steve Bannon blasts a meeting between Trump officials and a Russian lawyer. What he's saying in a